We must be live.
Yep. Let's put some miles on.
Let's go.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Road Noise. This is probably episode,
Again?
yeah, again, this is probably episode like 752. No, I don't know what it is, but we've got a few of these under our belt, and we just keep going until Dad, either you run out of stories or you just tell the same ones again and again. I don't know. So
Yeah, they're probably better the second time.
it might be. Yeah. No, where are we headed to in this one?
Well, this is going to go back in time for sure, and those of you that have watched or listened to earlier podcasts, you're going to be able to fill in some of the blanks that I'm going to intentionally leave out here. But if you want to fill in those blanks and you aren't one of the long-time listeners, then I would encourage you to go back to some of those previous ones, those early ones. And if you listen to those, this is going to make a little more sense, perhaps. But I think it still stands on its own. Start off with a question. Do you know how to speak religious? You say, well, what's that? Well, that's the language of the righteous. It's a language that most of us are taught. We use words like justification, salvation, regeneration, um, those type of things. Words that probably, if you're not a believer and you're just someone out there in the rest of the world, that's probably not words that are in your daily conversation. But if you get in the right group, you can learn how to speak religiousese. You'll learn the language, and once you learn the language, you're all set. And so, like I said, this was the early days of our ministry, and I found myself being asked, getting phone calls from people in churches that were outside of the denomination that we were with at the time. We weren't officially with the denomination, but it's where I grew up, and it's the churches that we attended at that time, and I'm getting phone calls from people outside of the denomination, and it's like I can't go there. I can't accept their invitation and go to these meetings because to do so that would be the unpardonable sin, and so I can't do that. But I didn't know how to get out of it. It's like when these people call, what do you tell them? I mean, if you tell them I don't want to do it or just say no, I mean, that's kind of harsh. And if I come up with all right, what if I say, yeah, I would love to, but I'm too busy? Their response is going to be, fine, let me know what's the next available date. And if I say it's going to be 2 years, 3 years, or 4, 5 years away, they're going to say, fine. You know? So I can't just tell them I'm busy, even if I wasn't. No, and that'd be a lie. So how do I get out of this? Well, here's what happened. I was shocked one day when I picked up the phone and it was someone from a church that was outside the denomination. But at that particular time, it was one of the largest churches in all of West Michigan. And I was really surprised that anybody from that church particularly would even know who we were, let alone be calling, wanting us to come and do children's meetings there. So I was kind of pleased that they knew who we were and were asking, but I knew I couldn't accept the invitation. And I don't know what it was that I said. Had to come up with some sort of excuse, but eventually I got him off the phone and I was successful in not scheduling anything. And that took care of things for a while. But it certainly wasn't a permanent fix because it wasn't too many months later they called back again. And again, I was surprised, but I knew I had to get out of it. And so I'm sure I probably mumbled and stumbled and who knows what I said, but I got out of it. and got him off the phone. And again, I was successful in not scheduling a meeting there. But about this time, I'm thinking, okay, I can kind of see a pattern here. And there had been other churches that had called as well, and I got them off the phone. But with this one particular church, I'm thinking, it's just going to be a matter of time. They're going to call back again. And so I figured there's some Christianese, there's some words that I'm missing here that I don't know. And so I made an appointment with our pastor to explain to him what the situation was. And he was gracious to give me some of his time. And I sat down and I explained, look, here's what's happened. I mean, this church contacted me. I didn't contact them. I want you to know, I didn't contact them. I've never sent them any literature or anything. I don't know how they heard about us. So I didn't initiate this. Okay. So you got to understand this is all on them. But what do I do if they ever call back again? And this particular pastor had been in the ministry for years. He knew his way around the block and he knew the Christianese. He says, Sheldon, he says, it's very simple. He says, if they ever call back again, he says, all you need to do, all you need to say is this: because of doctrinal differences, it would not be wise for me to come. That's it. That's what I was missing. I had never heard that before. What a brilliant idea. Because of doctrinal differences, it would not be wise for me to come. I memorized that line. I got very good at saying that line. And so from that point on, every time a church called that was outside the denomination, I didn't have to stumble for any words. I knew exactly what to say. And when you say that, that gets them off the phone and you don't schedule the meeting. Well, as I continued to grow myself, I guess, I come to the realization that God had children outside of our denomination, that God actually had some of his children in other denominations, and these children are scattered all over the world. And God had intended on letting those people into his heaven, just like he promised to let me in, and hopefully the people in the denomination that we were with. But our denomination wasn't the only ones. And so knowing what to say when a church outside the denomination called, I got to the point where I didn't repeat the Christianese line that I had memorized and used for countless times. And my, oh my, what a relief and what a blessing it was when a couple of years later, guess who called again? Well, this time when someone from that largest church in West Michigan called and asked if we would come and do meetings, by that time I had learned something else to say. I would love to partner with you for the cause of Christ. And we went and we did meetings there. You know, I think that response, saying, I would love to partner with you for the cause of Christ, I think that sounds better than the line that I had been using prior to that. To be perfectly honest, I think God enjoys hearing that far better than the line that I had been using. Mark 16:15, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature, in and outside of any particular denomination.
Yeah. What a great reminder. I love hearing that story too, just how your own journey in faith and how you came to a different conclusion from one that you'd held for a long time. That's
I did.
important work to do.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we wrap this up, again, I've got some questions for you. I'm not hesitant to share this one. I know I could get in trouble, but I don't think I will. But even if I do, it's worthy. Are you ready for it?
Oh boy. I guess as long
What
as
do
it's not
you
going to get me in
call
trouble.
All you do is edit these things and kind of monitor, and so forth. So you didn't say this, I did. All right. So we'll be clear about that. I'll take full responsibility. What do you call a sleepwalking nun?
Hmm. I don't know.
A Roman Catholic.
Roman. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All the people in my previous denomination, you can write me up on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. But on the more serious side, why is faith like a mustard seed?
Hmm.
Because it can grow into something big.
That is true. As it
Yeah.
should.
But yeah, that's the way it should be. But here's a deep theological one for you. And you might have to, what do you refer to the noodle it for a while?
Hmm.
Did Eve ever have a date with Adam?
Yeah.
No, just apples.
All right. I did not see that one coming at all.
Deep theological stuff
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I tell you, everybody needs to listen to these podcasts.
You're right. Yeah. They'll learn a thing or two. All right.
All right. Well, let's park this thing.
Let's park it here and yeah, but look forward to seeing where the next one takes us.